So how does it work? I know you had concerns last we spoke that he's not even a fit in Pittsburgh. What do you think? How does this work?
Yeah, Rich, I don't know that he was so much as a schematic fit. Remains to be seen. It's just that the whole situation did not seem to fit with the Steeler way, the Steeler culture, if you will. I'm curious to see how it meshes with, with Arthur Smith, their coordinator. Now, I will tell you, when Aaron Rodgers was here a month or 5 weeks ago, came in for a visit, Arthur Smith had a really good meeting with him. He was very encouraged and he was excited about him potentially coming. So, but, Arthur Smith had some philosophical differences with Russell Wilson toward the end of the year, the way Russell Wilson wanted to play and the way, Arthur Smith wanted him to play. A lot of that having to do with changing plays, wanting to go down the field more. And I go back to an old Terry Bradshaw line, Rich, where in his final game at Shea Stadium, he comes in off the bench. He'd been hurt all year with that elbow injury. He comes in, zing, 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 down the field, touchdown, back out, zing, 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 down the field, touchdown. Tunchilkin, my late dear friend, goes over to Bradshaw on the sideline. He says, "Hey, Brad, I thought the game plan was to run the ball." He says, "Tunch, old boy, I'm a gunslinger, not a mailman." And so I think that's what you're dealing with Aaron Rodgers. This guy at the line of scrimmage, Rich, I've been told, is the best at the line of scrimmage of reading defenses. And so if he gets at the line of scrimmage and sees something he doesn't like or something he feels is better, then he's going to do what he feels he needs to do. Now, does that mean he's going to circumvent Arthur Smith's offense? No, but he's Aaron Rodgers. And so you have to let him be Aaron Rodgers, with a certain amount of rain on him. That's for sure.
And I don't think there's any question he and Tomlin are going to mesh, right? Don't you
think?
Right,
without question. I mean, because Mike Tomlin is the person behind this whole thing. He's the guy who wanted them. Obviously, Art Rooney II, if he didn't want to do this, he wouldn't have done it. But this was all Mike Tomlin's idea, and this is what he wanted, and he pushed for it, and he got him.
Okay. Speaking of Terry Bradshaw, noticed Rodgers isn't going to wear his 12. He's wearing 8, right? And
the Steelers. There's a couple numbers the Steelers haven't retired, and Terry Bradshaw's is one of them that they just don't give out.
They don't give out.
There's several others. They just retired Franco Harris's jersey, to go with Joe Green's, but they never, put his out there, and they haven't given number 47 to anyone other than Donald Trump. So that's why he's going to wear number 8. I don't think Tommy Maddox minds that Aaron Rodgers is going to wear number 8.
Gerry Dulac bringing the noise right here. I guess I'm just mentioning, was this part of the bark chewing business? Like Terry did not hold back about his 2 cents on Rodgers and Rodgers making the Steelers wait, or at least not coming in immediately. And is that just what was your 2 cents on Terry's response?
One, he called it a joke, and that's the way a lot of people, Steeler fans, viewed it. Maybe non-Steeler fans viewed it. But I've learned since he was a player that I take everything Terry Bradshaw says with a grain of salt. I mean, I like the guy, but he says one thing, and then another day he says something else, totally opposite. So anything he usually says, I kind of basically, Rich, let go in one ear and out the other.
So what's your concern? What's the level of concern for the Steelers right now? Or what do you think needs to be worked on or proved, or for this team to get over the hump, which is, I can't believe I'm saying this about the Steelers, but such is the case, making the playoffs and winning a game. And moving forward. What do you think?
Yeah, winning the game is the big thing, Rich. They made the postseason 4 of the last 5 years, so it's not a franchise in disarray or where the sky is falling. Are they a better team at this time now than they were at this time last year? I personally don't think so, because when you lose 10 of 22 starters, it's difficult to say without many major changes. One, of course, DK Metcalf. But you lose a guy with George Pickens. Now, DK Metcalf is a step above George Pickens, no question. But you're kind of right back to where you were last year, where you have a number 1 receiver, and then who's number 2? They have a lot of high hopes for Roman Wilson, their third-round pick last year, who missed the entire season. But I still believe that they will go out and get some other type of number two. They brought in Robert Woods. I don't think he's that guy. He's a step above Van Jefferson, but he's at this point in his career, he's not the number two you're looking for. Maybe there's a couple of Aaron Rodgers receivers out there. I wouldn't look for any blockbuster trade or anything like that, but I would not be surprised if they added another wide receiver to help out Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. Are you going to be at the Rodgers press conference Tuesday? Leave the U.S. Open, or you're staying put?
No, Rich, unfortunately, or fortunately, I will be here at the U.S. Open. I did all my work leading up to delivering them, and now the rest of them can talk to him. I got plenty of time all year to talk to Aaron Rodgers.
Okay. So then, lastly, what do you want to hear? What do you want to get out of the Rodgers press conference Tuesday?
I think I don't want to say his level of commitment, because I don't know that that's questioned, but sometimes it is with him. And I think it's more, what he feels he is entering here in terms of the players he has to work with. And, how committed are the Steelers to putting those pieces together? I will tell you, they are very committed. Now, where they go from here, we shall see. But I'm just curious to hear what he has to say. I don't know that there was one thing in particular, Rich, I needed to hear him say, but I am curious to hear what he does have to say.
Okay. Catch the Rich Eisen Show live weekdays from 12 to 3 p.m. Eastern on Roku Sports Channel in the U.S.